up and sit down.
And now, streaming live from the sunny Southern California coast, this is Options Uncensored.
Hey everybody, I'm Steve. Welcome to Options Uncensored. We're making real option trades in real time together. Let's get right into it. First things first, make sure you have your brokerage account open so you can follow along. Have your YouTube video quality set as high as possible. It helps read the numbers a whole lot easier. Have a calculator with you so you can do some easy math. And finally, remember, this is not financial advice. This is all for entertainment purposes only. Cool, let's look at our open positions. First, Microsoft, we have our short call spread we opened yesterday. It's pretty much flat. We opened it at 65, down $3. That's okay. Next, here is a T-bill auction that's happening later today, so just ignore that. SPY, we opened this one, I think 2 days ago. Yep, opened this one on the 7th. Short call spread as well. This one's up today, about $8 total. As you can see, it looks like the S&P is kind of leveling off here. We'll see what happens. Roku, down a little bit, down 8. Trying to get to 34. That's fine. And Micron's down a bit. It must be up big today. We'll check in on that one later on, okay? Cool, so we only have 4 positions open. Let's see what else we can find today. First up is Disney. This is post-earnings. Up big today. Trying to get towards its 200-day moving average again. Here's a chart. It's hit the pandemic low and bounced off there. Not crazy about Disney. Let's look at the call side. So we are still trading December expiration. We're not into January yet. We got another week or so before we get to January. On the call side, the 95, awfully close. Let's take our calculators out. If you sold the 95 and bought the 100, that's 94 minus 33. Divide that by 2 and divide that by 500. Almost 6% return. But the 95 strike is awfully close. Where's that on the chart? 95 is right about here. That seems fair. I think we'll hold on Disney for today, and we'll follow up tomorrow, okay? I feel like this could run the second day, and then we'll sell a call spread, okay? Next on the list, Bill.com, B-I-L-L, down 15%. So we're now, 5 days after earnings? We had the big gap down after earnings. We didn't sell any put spreads here. Thank goodness we didn't. Down again today. Maybe got some downgrades. I'm not sure. Report of a deal. No, that's old news. That's news from yesterday. No news today to make it down. It's just down 15%. Earnings aren't until February. Here's our chart. We have to go back all the way to 2020 here. Okay, let's look at the put side for Bill.com. Not very liquid. If you sold the 45 and bought the 40, there's 20-point spread here. That's not ideal. Same thing with the 45. Just not enough volume to do anything. Close one, but no cigar. Let's move on. Affirm is next. I believe this is post-earnings. The 8th, yesterday after the close, correct. So we're post-earnings here. Here's our chart. Could move all the way up to 30. We may have to hold another day on this one. On the call side. You have to go all the way out here. You have to sell the 35 and buy the 40. That's 50 minus 18 divided by 2 divided by 500. That's only 3.2% potential return. The 32.5 is awfully close. Let's do the math on it. If we sold the 32.5 and bought the 37.5, that's 86 minus 29 divided by 2 and divided by 500. Only 5.7% there. On the put side, if you sold the 20, bought the 15, you're not going to get paid. 37 minus 5. Divide that by 2 and divide that by 500, 3.2%. Same thing here. I think we'll check in with the firm tomorrow and see if it continues to run. But up 23% today. That's not bad. All right, cool. Let's move on. AMC. This one I don't trade very often. Earnings today. There's going to be nothing here. Let's look at the put side. Yikes. You'd have to sell the 6 and buy the 4. 19 minus 3 divided by 2. Divided by 2 divided by 200. Not 4%. On the call side, if you sold the 12, maybe here on the call side there's something. If you sold the 12 and bought the 15, what do you get? 39 minus 18 divided by 2 divided by 300. Nah, it's not worth it. 3.5%. Good liquidity here, though. Where's the 12 on the chart? 12 is right about here. We're going to pass on this one. Unity is next. I think this is post earnings, the 9th after the close. No, never mind, my mistake. Earnings are today after the close. So we'll follow up with this one tomorrow, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully we get a big move. Next, ARM. We'll check out ARM and MapleCart up next. I know when they both first IP'd, we checked in with their options every day. They were fairly liquid, so there were trades to make. We're just trying to wait for those first set of earnings to come out, and now they have. So ARM is down 6%. Already catching a little bit of a bounce. Let's see what the put side looks like. Good liquidity here. If you sold the 45 and bought the 40, that's 62 minus 16 divided by 2 divided by 500. Oh, hold on, sorry, I messed it up. 62 minus 16 divided by 2 divided by 500. 4.6% on the put side. Not that great. On the call side, if you sold the 57.5 and bought the 62.5, that's 62 minus 18 divided by 2 divided by 500. 4.4. We're going to pass on this one. Next, Instacart. CART. Maple Bear. Down 13%. This is post earnings. We have a little support here. Not a lot of chart history, so it's hard to say where support and resistance is. Because if it breaks down past here, there's no guessing of where it could bounce. On the put side, let's check it out. This one's not as liquid as the other one. We're going to skip this one because it's not liquid enough. Next, Coinbase, COIN. We got 10% today. I don't think this is earnings. Earnings are February 20th. I don't know. So we are, yeah, like a week after earnings here. Here's our chart. We may have to keep this one on our watch list. If you can get up to like 104, be interested in selling a call spread. On the call side, though, if you sold the 120, bought the 125, let's do the math. That's 278. Sorry, 280. Sorry, 275 minus 210. Divide that by 2, divide that by 500. 6.5% if you sold the call side. Very tempting here. Mark Coinbase. On the put side for coin, if you sold the 75 and bought the 70, that's 148 minus 92. Divide that by 2 and divide that by 500. 5.5%. So you get paid better if you sold the call side for obvious reasons here. Where's the 120 on the chart? $120 is all the way up here. Could definitely get there if it keeps this momentum going. 120. Right here. We'll hold. Hopefully we'll have some follow through on this one over the next couple days and then sell a call spread. We'll keep this one on the list to keep an eye on. Next, Twilio. TWLO. This is post earnings. Up 6%, coming up to the 200 day as well. Some resistance here. Let's check out the call side on Twilio. Let's make sure it's post earnings. 8th, yes, correct. The 65 is awfully close. The 70 is too far out. Let's do the math. 97 minus 34. Divide that by 2. And divide that by 500. 6.3% if you sold the call side. Just the 65 strike is awfully close. The 65 is up here. Again, very close. We'll follow up on this one tomorrow too. Next will be AstraZeneca, AZN. I think this will be post earnings. Earnings the 9th before the open. That's today. Bit of a move, not a crazy move. Let's look at the put side here. If you sold the 60, bought, no, skip the put side. On the call side, you'd have to sell the 70 and just don't get paid for it. We'll skip this one. Next. Duolingo, DUOL, up 17%. This is earnings movement as well. Take a look at our chart. All right. Well, it's a call spread here. See what it looks like. Yikes, so you'd have to go out to the 230 and buy the 240. Not a lot of liquidity either. Let's see. 340 minus 195, divide that by 2 and divide that by 1,000. That's a 7.2% return. That's really cool. Just the liquidity's not that great. The spread here is an 80-cent spread. So close. Everything else lines up perfectly. On the put side, you'd have to sell the 160. You have the same problem here. The spread is almost $1. It's a shame. Close, but no cigar. Let's look at the TLT. I think it's down today. Perhaps rates will keep moving up again now. Let's look on the call side. We sold the call side. We sold the 94, bought the 98. That's 43 minus 14 divided by 2 divided by 400, 3.6%. We'll skip the TLT for right now. Let's check in with XOP. Kind of catching a bounce here. On the put side, if you sold the 126 and bought the 121, that's 114 minus 60. Divide that by 2 and divide that by 500. 5.4. That's not bad for an ETF. On the call side, if you sold the 150 and bought the 155, that's 112 minus 55. Divide that by 2. Divide that by 500. 5.7. So you get paid slightly better for selling the call side. Or if you want to sell both sides, get the condor, you can. Where was the strike on the put side? The 126? The 126 is down here. Not bad. We should wait for a little bit more movement down. Like around 130, then sell the put side. We'll keep an eye on this one. Next, Roblox, RBLX, follow up from yesterday. Now we missed this one. If we should have sold a call spread yesterday. I think we looked at this one. We missed the move now. Yeah. But if you sold a call spread yesterday, congrats for you. The put side, nothing else here. We'll take this one off the list. That's it for the news. Let's take a look at our IV rank scanner, and we'll sort by volume. The SPY has lost a lot of volatility over the past couple days. On the call side, though, we have our short call spread open here, the 456, 461. Can you still sell a call spread? For December expiration. Want to sell the 454 and buy the 459. It's 134 minus 66. Divide that by 2. Divide that by 500. Still get paid for it. It gets paid 6.8% if you sell the call spread today. Not bad. Where's 454 in the chart? Up here. That seems very fairly priced for the call side. What about the put side? What if it beats 6.8%? Okay, you'd have to sell. If you sold the 419 and bought the 414, that's 244 minus 184. Divide that by 2 and divide that by 500, 6% on the nose. So it's much better to sell the call side still. You get almost a full percentage more if you sell the call side. Interesting. All right, I've got mine open. I'm happy with my strikes. I'm happy with this. We're already up $12. Next on the list, NVIDIA, we're waiting for earnings. Marathon Digital, no. The TLT we just looked at, it's now sub 50 on its IV rank. Lilly, We looked at that one yesterday. As a $600 stock, it's hard to get liquidity on the options. The GLD still has a little bit of heightened volatility. This was in the 60s just a week or so ago. We're out of our GLD trade, but let's see where we are at today, if there's any move to make. I know at this point I have no bias towards the calls or the puts. On the put side, if you sold the, you're not going to get paid anymore. If you sold the 174 and bought the 169, 43 minus 14 divided by 2 divided by 500, 3%. Bad. On the call side, maybe you still get paid on the call side. If you sold the 189 and bought the 194, that's $1 minus 43. Divide that by 2, divide that by 500, 5.7. It's not bad, but we got paid a lot better just a couple days ago. We paid almost 6%, over 6%. Where's 189 on the chart? 189 is right about here. That seems a little close for comfort. Let's move on. Lyft is post earnings. Silver. Virgin Galactic is a $2 stock. Snowflake has earnings at the end of the month. We'll follow up on that one. MSTR. Up 10% today. We're now a week after earnings. This one may not have good options to trade. I could kind of catch a ceiling here. Huh? Let's look at the call side. Oh boy. You sold the 660. Just very, there's hardly any volume here. That's what's kind of hard about this. If you moved out this far to get liquidity, you're not going to get paid. Nothing. All too illiquid. Nothing. There's some better volume here, but no. On the put side, what we got there? A little bit better liquidity on the put side. If you sold, now pass on this one. A Bitcoin ETF. Never traded it before. BITO. Skip the put side. You'd have to sell the 15. It's too illiquid. On the call side, you'd have to sell the 23. Same thing. Too illiquid. Next, back to the list. Unity. We looked at that. It has earnings today. We'll check in tomorrow. Chewy has earnings on December 6th. They're about a month away. Bill.com we already looked at. The KRE, maybe. Let's look at the KRE. Don't have to worry about earnings for this one. Here's our chart. Yeah, it was a skip the put side. On the call side, if you sold the 46 and bought the 49, yeah, 27 minus 6, you're not going to get paid for it. Divided by 2, divided by 300, only 3.5%. Skip the KRE for now. We need to have more volatility priced in. This one's still got some volatility. It's CCJ. We just got out of a position on this one a couple days ago. It was a post-earnings trade. Yeah, we sold the call spread here and got out, 5 days later. It's up again today. Now look at the call side. If you sold the 48 and bought the 50, I guess you'd have to. 49 minus 28. Divide that by 2, divide that by 200. Only 5% now. We got paid a lot better when we did our post-earnings trade. What about the put side? If you sold the 37 and bought the 34, that's 35 minus 13 divided by 2 divided by 300, 3.6%. No good on this one. UNG. Pfizer. Nope. End phase. Let's go to one more volatility scanner here on E-Trade. MicroStrategy we already looked at. Illumina. Target's on this list. Let's take a look at Target. Earnings for Target are November 15th. That's why coming up here in a couple days, we'll follow up with Target after their earnings. Zoom. Let's take a look at Zoom. Earnings are on the 20th. That's why. Illumina. ILMN. Earnings are today after the close, so we'll follow up tomorrow after the close or after earnings are all done. Cold and Boil will skip. DocuSign. DOCU. December 7th after the close. That's about a month away. On the put side, if you sold the 32.5 and bought the 30, that's $250 you're risking. 44 minus 22 divided by 2 divided by 250, 4.4%. On the call side, if you sold the 47.5 and bought the 52.5, that's 69 minus 23 divided by 2 divided by 500, 4.6%. UCO. Take a look at UCO. Maybe no moves to make today. Go back one more time, look at Disney, see if anything's changed with Disney. It's getting close. Maybe we'll sell a call spread on Disney. If we sold the 100, bought the 105, one more time on the math there. 37 minus 14 divided by 2 divided by 500. No, that's no good. And coin one more time and then we'll call it. We sold the 120, bought the 125. That's 274 minus 207 divided by 2 divided by 500. 6.7% for coin. Coin's tempting here. 120 on the chart. Way up here. think we'll hold on Coinbase for today, but we're definitely going to check in with Coinbase tomorrow. Hopefully it'll be up strong again tomorrow, and then we'll go ahead and make a move, okay? But not a bad day. Checked in on everything. We're making some money here. No worries. These are all December expiration. Cool, guys. Thanks for watching. Tune in every morning, 7:15 a.m. on the West Coast, 10:15 a.m. on the East Coast. Subscribe to get alerts when we go live. Also, tell your friends who are trading options to tune in every day. We'll trade options together. We'll all learn together. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow morning.